It's that time of the month where I can't stop eating. I don't know what I'm feeling like today, but I'm feeling kind of like goofy and I want to do things, but also I'm a little bit manic because I have so much stuff to do. And so we're gonna make a matcha. Ariana Grande's new songs, you listen to it once and they're like, okay, but then you keep listening to them and they just keep getting better. Not who you say you are, 'cause I might give her a call. It's not like I'm still over you. You I just took myself out on a solo sushi date and I forgot how good it feels to take yourself out on solo dates. I used to do this all the time and sushi is one of my favorite foods ever and it always makes me so happy. My current situation right now is that I've been watching Chosen and I've been so obsessed with Jesus lately. And, growing up Catholic, I've always had a personal relationship with Jesus, but I saw him as this hierarchical figure that I can never be worthy of. And over time in my spiritual journey, I've learned that Christ's teachings are inherent to everybody. And the light in Jesus is the same light that is within us. And he paved the way to show that unconditional love is the way. I'm not religious at all, but I do feel like I have a very close personal relationship with Jesus, just like any other gurus or spiritual leaders that you may have. It's the same thing with my yoga life. Like I look up to Yogananda, I look up to Ram Dass and Michael Singer and so many spiritual teachers. But Jesus is one of those figures that it's just so comforting to know that love is always the right answer. And I feel like all of these leaders and teachers point to the same truth, that if you follow love, you'll never go astray. And it really does bring people closer together. It really emphasizes the truth about oneness, how we're all connected. And I don't want to sound so cliche about it, but rewatching the series and catching up to the series and seeing just the dynamics of the disciples and all of the differences that were apparent, yet they still chose to be together, to support one another, to follow Jesus because they felt like there's truth in his words, in his way of being. And that's why I love that work so much, because it's all about embodiment. It's not just about talking about all of the good deeds that you have done or that you do or that you follow. It's really about the embodiment of love, like love through action, not just words. It's not just about, I believe Jesus or I believe in God, therefore I'm going to go to heaven and there's nothing else that I need to do in this human experience to get there, but really choosing love in every single moment and being of service to others and really connecting to your own divinity and seeing others in the same light is really what makes a difference and strengthens your version of spirituality, whatever you may follow. But I just watched a show and I read these books about Jesus and he sounds like such a cool dude, like I wish I was alive back in the day. Maybe I was in another life, but I wish I could experience such a being back in the day just to see how that's like, how the world was like and how he talked and his personality. And, we often forget that these leaders, these teachers were also human. We put him on a pedestal like, yes, he was the Messiah and he's this like hierarchical figure that is essentially like a huge celebrity. But he was also just so human. And the thing that I love about the show is that it shows his human emotions, his struggles, and the things that he had to endure, even though he knew truth, even though he was embodying that love. It still shows the struggles that he went through in times of solitude and being together and being the strong leader that people looked at him as. And it's so funny in some scenes, like he would just like retreat. And it's like what we also need to do when we are of service to others, or we need to deal with our own internal conflicts. Like we need to be in solitude, just you and God. and you have these honest conversations with yourself, or maybe you just sit in silence, but it's so needed. And then you go back into the world and continue your mission, whatever the divine will may be for you. And so just noticing these parallels is so comforting to know that such a leader also was human, and he also struggled, and he also had parents, and he also had a family, he also had friends, and he also did some form of work, and he preached and he talked and he connected with others. And it wasn't always easy, but he did it through devotion and love and service. And I look up to that so much because for me, passion without purpose is unhelpful. And if I'm going to do something, I want to make sure that it benefits the collective, not just myself, because ultimately that's what leads to lasting fulfillment. And really, there's no other way I want to live.
If you made it this far, thank you for being here, and I just want to leave you with this. My connection with Jesus isn't about religion. It's about love. It's about seeing the kind of love he lived and realizing that that same love lives in me too, and in you. He didn't come here to be put on a pedestal. He came to show us what it looks like when love becomes real, when it walks, cries, forgives, serves, and laughs. It's not about having all the answers or saying you believe the right thing. It's about how you show up. It's love in action, and that's the way. And honestly, if Jesus could say something to us right now, I think it'd be super simple. Like, you're not alone, I'm here. Let's love this world together. So if something in you feels that, even just a spark, follow it, share it, let it move through you. That's how we bring heaven down to earth, not someday, but right now.